Spiritual healing has been very much a part of my life for some time now. I was curious basically to track down a spiritualist church that I come across some months prior to my accident. I was looking for affirmation, I guess, at that stage. I'd never heard of a near-death experience. I knew nothing about them. And what had just happened to me was just so huge that I wanted to just chat to people and get some feedback and see what people made of it who understood it. And I knew they would. And they did. I found it just by chance because I used to go out with my sister once I was well enough to walk, and she used to take me down to the river. And we'd walk along the riverbank and along the quayside. And then one day I was walking with her through this passageway leading from the river, like a passageway of Victorian buildings, basically. And then I just saw this doorway, and I said, "That's it. That's the doorway to the church," because it's very unassuming. And some people were just walking in, and I said, "Is this the spiritualist church?" And they said, "Yeah, there's a service just starting, why don't you come in?" So I did. So I went in and joined in with the service, and it was beautiful. It was packed. I was sat right at the back there, and afterwards we had coffees and chatted and stuff, and a really lovely German lady came over to me called Maria and said, "You look like you could do with some healing, and we do spiritual healing here." And I went, "Oh, okay." And I said, "That sounds great. When can I start?" She said, "Thursday. We hold an evening on Thursday." So I went along, and it was at the same place, but it looked like a completely different venue because I walked in and it was all very darkly lit, just candles and beautiful chilled out music and a lovely atmosphere. So anyhow, I've been going to spiritual healing ever since, because not just to get healed physically, but mentally and emotionally too. And for me, and also, even on days I don't feel like I need the healing, I go there just to sort of like touch base with my guides, with the universe, with God, and just to feel that energy. There's two people called Danny and Jackie who heal me, generally speaking, and they'll stand. Jackie will sit down in front of me and place her hands on my knees and to ground me, and Danny will stand behind with his hands placed on my shoulders. And as soon as they place their hands on me, I just feel the energy just going right through me. It's like an instant sort of flow of energy that's beautiful, and it's like I just go into that moment and I allow myself to be in the moment. All the cares and worries I brought with me as I walked through the door just go. Even outside distractions, like for example, there's a boxing gym right opposite, in this old Victorian passageway, so it's very close to us, and you can hear these young kids being encouraged to whack into a hard punch bag. But do you know what? I mean, to me, I just think no, and they're trying to learn a craft and they're enjoying it, and I don't even, it doesn't bother me at all. And not only that, once I go into that moment, that sound kind of disappears. It doesn't. It's no longer part of my healing space, and I'm in the moment. I'm in that quietness, and I just feel that energy of that love coming through, and it's the closest I can possibly get to my guides, my angels, and heaven itself. It's interesting because when we finish doing the healing, Danny will go up and get some water for us, and the three of us will sit there, and we don't talk for quite a few moments. There's no need to. There's no sense of feeling like we've got to fill the space with conversation, because we're still in the moment and we're still enjoying that beautiful energy, because they've experienced it just as much as me. It's like a circular motion. That energy's going through all three of us. I used to turn around and say to the healers, "Wow, you're such a brilliant healer," and they say, "No, I'm not. I'm just conducting the energy. That's all I'm doing." I still maintain that they are natural healers, but I do get what they're saying, that the energy is coming through them. So it's great to know that it's not all about me, that I'm at the end of that beautiful healing session that all three of us have experienced that energy. And when it's been particularly powerful, they feel it too. You know, we just kind of sit there sometimes and go, wow, you know, what happened there? And it's something that I would highly recommend to anyone. It's like I said earlier, not that many people come along, and I wish there were more. People should be queuing around the block. It's like it should be as big as Reiki healing or shiatsu or yoga, Pilates, all those different forms, or meditation. You know, they're just, all those are brilliant, but this is really, really just as powerful for me, if not more. The evening will start off where we'll sit down and we'll probably sit around in rows of seats. There's only a few of us there, and we just kind of chat and we just talk about just general things. And then it's at that point that Bruce, who runs our healing group, will stand up and take some prayers. And they're just, you know, very short but very strong and powerful prayers that we send out to, you know, all four corners of the world that need healing, Mother Earth itself, the animal kingdom, you know, or whatever places that are featured in the news that desperately need healing. And we send out our healing thoughts. And what we do then is we go into what's called the silence. Now the silence is really, I love the silence, because we sit there and we go into a moment. It's almost like a meditative state, and we send out distant healing. Now I start by sending out those healing thoughts to people who are close to me, you know, my family or friends who need healing at the moment, whether it's because they're suffering emotionally, physically, health-wise, or even just, you know, they're struggling, they're having a tough time at the moment. I will then start to send out the healing thoughts to the people who in other parts of the world that I don't actually know personally, and send out that healing love to them and to the earth itself, to Mother Earth, which is, you know, in need of replenishing with love. So I do urge you to go online now, just like Google in spiritual healing, see what you'll find. Spiritual healers close by. Obviously at the moment with the pandemic they can't operate because it's one-on-one, but in saying that, distant healing still operates. In fact, you know, you'll find healers who work online who are really good. I can recommend one straight away. I did an interview with a US guy called Shaman Oaks, and we chatted afterwards, and I talked about the healing, and he said, look, I do distant healing as well, if you're interested. I said, yeah, I'd love to. It's really powerful, the energy he sends out. I mean, like, he's based in the US and I'm over here in the UK, but when that connection's there, I feel it, you know, and it's really strong. Allow yourself to be in the moment, as I say, and just you'll let the energy just ride through you, and you'll notice the knock-on effect. Even if you don't feel like you've felt it for the first time when you've had healing, don't worry about it. That's kind of normal, and you'll realise that it'll help you throughout the week. You know, I describe it as being plugged into the mains and having my batteries recharged on a regular basis. So give it a go. I highly recommend it.